Hi, I'm Jackie Bender with your Chicago Business Today Midday Report. U.S. News & World Report is out with its 2014 list of the nation's best business schools, with 2 Chicago programs in the top 6. Northwestern's Kellogg Graduate School of Management held on to its 4th place position, tied with MIT. The University of Chicago's Booth School of Business tied for 4th with Kellogg last year and slipped to 6th this year. Harvard and Stanford tied for number 1, with Wharton close behind in 3rd place. Here to talk more about the rankings is Crain's Lorene Yu. Lorene, tell us about the methodology that goes into this and any insights that you have into why Booth slipped in the rankings.
Well, the methodology, there's a lot of surveying that's going on. They ask administrators, they ask faculty, they ask students, and U.S. News & World Report has its own rankings algorithm too, I guess, where they take in consideration the quality of the students, the research that's being produced, and the quality of the faculty, and they kind of crunch all these numbers together and they come up with a ranking. So if you were to look at the absolute score for each of the schools, you will find that Booth is very close behind. It's only 1 point behind Kellogg. But the difference here is that there were many ties in the first 3 spots. So there was a tie for 1st place, there was a tie for 4th place, and so that puts Booth at number 6. So in that case, it was 1 point behind, but it was tied before last year, but it's not tied this year. So that's why you get the difference in the numbers.
Now, how are these rankings perceived and how important are they? Or is it more of a situation where schools love them or hate them depending on how they fare?
It is a very love-hate relationship based on how they fare. I mean, obviously, if you do well in the rankings, schools love it. You know, you get a lot of attention from potential students, you get higher quality candidates, faculty, you can get higher quality faculty that you can recruit. If you don't do so well, then, you know, it's kind of a struggle, and especially if you slip, then there's all this explaining as to, well, why aren't you as good as you were last year? So it is very love-hate.
Now, beyond the top 6, how did other Illinois schools do compared to past years?
So it was sort of a mixed bag for some of them. They rose in some areas and fell in others. The business school rankings were part of a comprehensive graduate program rankings, so they looked at medical schools and law schools as well as PhD programs. And so all the other Chicago area schools, some of them did higher, some of them fell in other areas. So it's always this sort of back and forth game in the rankings and how they do from year to year.
All right, some good information. Thanks, Lorene.
You're welcome.